This is the Mary Lou Life, and today I'm going to be talking about a struggle that I've had my whole life and how I've come to terms with it, how I'm dealing with it, and how I think I've overcome it. So, this is going to be about my weight and my health and my attitude concerning those things. Right now, I weigh 333 pounds. Um, I'm 6'1". I know that sounds like a huge number, and I'm definitely overweight by anybody's standards. But for me, considering I've been overweight my entire life, except for a few months where I got down to about a normal weight when I was 18, 19 in there. In fact, I've been probably over 100 pounds overweight most of my life. And by like BMI standards, by doctor's standards. And I used to be terrified of that number and terrified of weighing. Um, I still have nervousness around it and I still have crap in my head about it, but I'm okay with being 333 pounds today, especially since last week I went to the doctor and they did the blood test, and I've been pre diabetic for many, many years. And uh, I'm still just pre-diabetic, which I consider to be a success. You know, to be diagnosed with pre-diabetes for 16 years and for those numbers not to go up. And I have steadily been exercising, been doing a lot, but at the same time, very much aware that there are things I cannot do because, I used to walk. I used to walk a lot, and it would hurt. Once it started hurting my hips or my back, I'd stop. I did every. I just kept switching it up, doing different exercises, trying to do things unless it hurt, and then I'd switch. And I think at my age, I'm 54. I just want to throw all the numbers out there. I'm 6'1", 333 pounds, 54 years old. I'm fucking happy with where I'm at right now. I don't do anything I wouldn't consider drastic. I do some fasting because I feel good about it. It is not even about the food anymore. I have um, serious hunger issues, and eating makes me hungry. And so fasting and intermittent fasting helps me. What the doctor said was you're still limiting its calorie restriction according to him, but to me it's not. It's because it makes me less hungry. It is calorie restriction, but it's the opposite of it. It's the hormones leading the fight instead of me just trying to white knuckle through it. And I could explain how it works later and how I think it works for me, and how I think it works based on what Dr. Jason Fung, he put out a book, about obesity and about insulin. He's a kidney specialist and called Obesity Code, and he suggested some stuff about hunger and how you could wait a couple of hours when you think you're hungry and it'll go away. And I realized it did. But I also realized the psychology for me is if I wait a couple of hours and the hunger goes away, I still have the mental cravings. The hunger's not there, but I still have the mental cravings and I still have the mental. So there's other stuff going on. But for me, I've been over 400 pounds in the past, and 333 right now feels okay. And I have some challenges that I want to do to feel better and to be stronger. I do want to get my numbers out there because I'm gonna try to keep a journal and a video journal, video log, share my experiences. So hopefully I can help somebody else. But my total cholesterol was 195. My A1C was 6.3, which is high, but not any higher than it was 16 years ago. And more importantly just these numbers, um, I feel good. I'm older, but I don't have a lot of pain. There's pain when I work a physical job, and at the end of the day, I'll be tired, and so occasionally my hips hurt or my joints hurt, but it's not a lot. It doesn't. I don't have to take medication for it, and sometimes it's that level of pain for me. I'm just grateful for, because if I feel like it's like when you exercise and you feel your muscles are sore, you feel like you did something, so you have something to be proud of, and for me, that level of pain is good, but I have to recognize my mom had serious pain issues and she struggled every day. And she really is my role model for for health because she was overweight and she really tried to be a guiding light for me, but she would go too far to the extremes, and it was so hard. You get rid of all the junk food in the house, and you have to have broiled fish and steamed broccoli and no good food, and then you realize you're going to be sneaking food, and it was just a complete mind fuck with the food, and it really isn't even about the food. It's not about the food anymore. We make it about the food, but there's so many, just it's so complicated. But for me, looking at the numbers matters, being conscious of it matters, but it's not where you should focus. You should focus on trying to do things, and I've done this like maybe subconsciously over the years, and I didn't even realize, um, because I always tried to do as much housework, do as much physical labor, do as much as I could, because I realized when you're this overweight, it's going to hurt either way, whether you're working or laying in bed, whether you're working or sitting on a couch, your body's going to hurt. But I realized quickly as I was doing stuff that I would have the strength, but mentally it took away anxiety. It would take away how negative I would feel about myself. If I did a good job working, if I cleaned the house, if I did things that were good for me, it really did reinforce positive thoughts about me. Whereas if I just focused on weight, it just constantly, I could never win. I could never win with, I never lose enough. And even when I got down for that brief, few months where I got down in what was considered, I was 165, 175 pounds. But for me, I looked, decent. I felt okay, but it wasn't, enough. I kept thinking, well, maybe I should be under 150. And maybe, because I was focused on that, I was focused on maybe I should stop eating any candy, any sugar, straight up, anything like that. Or maybe I should just stop eating bread. I started picking apart stuff. It was never enough. And it's kind of it was a psychological thing. I have, in all truth, been in um, eating disorder. It's 12 step. It's supposed to be anonymous, but I'm not in it so anymore. So, but it was very helpful at the time. My cat's messing with me because they don't want me on the. Here, Nash, come here, come here. But but I'm trying to be encouraging, but it doesn't sound that encouraging. I'm really happy. I'm happy with the numbers. I have goals to be healthier, but again, I'm not focusing on that. I want to focus on, I went to the doctor. I don't have high blood pressure. My thyroid is good. My cholesterol is good. I'm pre-diabetic, and I know that's a warning sign that you could have issues later on. Could have issues now with your kidneys, your liver, your heart, because it's never good to have an A1C probably higher than a 5. Even though you're pre-diabetic, you're not diabetic. You're in that danger zone. Aware of that, but it's it was freeing to know that okay, I don't have diabetes. I have been doing things right because I still eat sweets. I still eat the foods I want. It's I'm more careful now. I always try to eat the salads and a meal, and then if I still want sweets, I don't eat them in isolation, and I make sure I eat what I really want. Try not to eat because it's there or because I feel denied something. I almost always have. I'm the opposite of what I was trained in all these diet programs and stuff to do. I always have ice cream. I always have chocolate in the house, and I don't eat it every day. I really don't. And but if it's there, then I can learn to ignore it. Learn to not. It's just not that big an issue. And maybe it's because I'm getting older, and maybe it's something you have to do. But it is, like I said, I have the teenager at home, and I try to teach them that being a little overweight is not an issue. I really think I got a serious weight issue from being in diet programs starting when I was 5 years old. Because my mother had to have her stomach stapled according to the doctor. I'm 5. I didn't realize until later that that doctor had said you're going to die if you don't lose 100 pounds. And at the time it was a dramatic surgery, and this was in the 1970s. She had to have her stomach stapled according to the doctor. She needed it to stay alive. And she wanted to be there for her kids. She wanted really badly to be healthy. So she couldn't have the surgery until she had lost some weight before the surgery. So we went to Weight Watchers, and everybody was super lovely there. Everybody was super encouraging, but it still fucked me up, because you can't take away one day, be eating all the junk, and then take it completely away, and then be told that this is in the scale came out. That was traumatic. Having to weigh and nitpick on everything, and really total flip flop of foods you're used to eating, and just it was very traumatizing. Even all these years, it shouldn't be that traumatizing, but it is. I think about it now. I'm like, oh, I don't want to ever go through that again. It was like punishment, and I'm like, what did I do? Why? Why can't I have ice cream? Why can't I have chips? Why can't I have your goulash that you make? It made no sense, you know. And so, but my mom was trying. She was really doing what the doctors told her to do, and but ever since then, I've tried different diets over the years, and I've gone to a different doctor before specifically to help me lose weight. And I ended up getting pregnant because he put me on a detox, and who knows? I got healthy. I got pregnant. But the main thing I want to share is it's not about fat acceptance, because I know that being overweight is not the healthy choice. But when you come to it from, you're born into it, and it is such ingrained in you, and you have to love yourself at the same time that you're going through this shit. For me, it's better to look at it this way. And I've been looking at it this way for years now, and I feel okay with it. I feel like I am slowly losing weight. I am learning better eating habits for me, and I am still not denying myself anything that I want. And it is something that you adjust on every single day. Work on it I work on it every day, but it's a nice kind of working on it. It's like, oh, okay, well, that didn't work so well because, now I have more cravings for that, or that didn't work so well because I don't like the flavor of that. There are things that I'm still working on. Like, I need to eat more olive oil. I don't like olive oil. I need to, tweak things a certain way because I know that they're healthier options for me. Um, but I also feel like there's so much going on that I have to brag about and be proud of, that I'm strong. I feel good. I have so much hope for what I can do. I did a workout today. It was an upper body workout because it's really hard to do a lower body workout because most of those still involve, it's just hard for me. I haven't quite figured it out because I need a machine or something. Because squats, I can do squats, but I mean, I'm on my feet 40 hours a week. It's a lot on a big body. And I feel like I don't want to damage my joints. I need a way of exercising that is just uh, different. And I know this. See, this is the thing. It helps to be older, to know things, to know that, yeah, I've done this before and that doesn't work. I know how I need to do things to get me motivated. I know how I need to get in this groove, and I can do it. And uh, and I don't have to make it an all or nothing thing. So wonderful. I used to be full on, had to run head first into the wall, had to go for it. And it fucked me up if I messed up at all. If anything wasn't quite right, it threw me back and made me feel horrible about myself. And I look back on things in my life and I was like, there was something always innately trying to protect me. I used to feel such a betrayal from my body because it wouldn't do what I wanted it to do. But now when I look back on it, I was like, fuck no. Your body was trying to protect you. Your body, the fat is there for a reason. You have to figure out why. You have to navigate the emotions. You have to navigate your self-esteem. You have to navigate all this other stuff. It's there for a reason. It's the biologically it's there because I honestly believe because I had a lot of stress growing up and the food was available and it was an easy thing to turn to, and then you just learn to do that. And so it doesn't have to be an all or nothing thing, you know. I wish there's other things. I used to smoke cigarettes. That for me is an all or nothing thing. I wish I could go back and smoke a cup. I love cigarettes. I love smoking. But, for me, it's just not worth it because I feel like I would so easy. I was a serious smoker towards the end and over a pack a day. And it was, I don't want to ever go back. I don't need to go back. It's not something I need to eat. I can't get away from the eating. And it's so hard. You can't get away from other people eating around you. So it's not the same. It's not equivalent. I can go cold turkey on that. The smoking. I have to because it was a bad thing for me. But even like alcohol, I did used to overindulge. There have been times where I would party and do too much, but now I can take it or leave it. I can have it in the house and it's not a problem. Those were never my serious problems. Even the smoking, which I did for many years, honestly was never the serious problem. It was a distraction. The overeating and the being fat, it's a separate thing, but they're seriously tied into an identity that I have. And it's just one I need to let go of. I don't need to overeat anymore, and I definitely don't need to be fat for any reason. I don't need to I need to change it up, get more muscle, and have fat. Having fat is no problem. I just don't need to be the fat person anymore. I don't know how this even comes across, but this is where I'm at right now because I'm in a really good place. But as most of my life, I always feel like I'm jumping off and starting something new. It's not that new. Nothing is ever that new, but it always feels that way. It's like I'm going to start this new thing, and but it feels good. I feel like I'm I have figured things out, and I'm okay with me where I'm at right now. And thanks for listening.